All right, man, we got a good one for you today. We're talking leaked WWE Mattel lineups, and I'm going to show you some of these figures that are in these leaked lineups. So stay tuned for that. But we're going to start small with some main events. A lot of you guys still want to call them basics, so we'll still call them basics, but they are called main events because of the new articulation. Starting off with main event Series 160, and the first person, I'm sure we're not surprised, is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is going back to the main event line in Series 160. But that's not all, because also is going to be somebody who is rising up the ranks in WWE, and that is Dirty Dominic Mysterio. I got to assume that this figure is going to have the updated mullet, that Eddie mullet, longer hair, the stash. I'm sure he's going to have a t-shirt draped around him. I can't wait for that. I'm curious to see if he's going to have bare arms or they're going to do the old school t-shirt style so they can cut off some of that tattoo deco. But either way, pretty cool to have another Dominic Mysterio. I'm a big fan of his figures. Another person whose figures I'm a fan of, Gunther. Gunther is returning to the main event line. I got to assume that this is going to have that new head sculpt that we saw on an elite body, grayscaled out at WrestleMania. I love that. It's like a snarling face. It's so much more accurate to the face that he makes on television. So I'm hoping that's what we see on this main event 160 Gunther. Another figure that we saw at WrestleMania is Kelani Jordan. So I'll be honest with you, I do not follow NXT closely, so I do not know who Kelani is. I really honestly only know her from her figure being shown off at WrestleMania. And again, I don't really know who the chase is going to be in this set, but I would assume that it's her. The last person in the line is another figure that we saw at WrestleMania, and that is Tonga Loa. So we recently got his first time in the line figure in Elite Series 118. And this new figure in the main event line is going to be a completely different head sculpt. He's going to have the eye patch. He's going to be in the suit. And I think that is awesome. It's such a unique way to present the bloodline. Love his Elite, and I'm looking forward to this main event. I'm definitely going to be picking it up. Now, moving on, let's talk about the next lineup. Main event Series 161. And main event 161 is going to have not Roman. These two men next to Roman. So we're going to be getting a new Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso in main event Series 161. I got to assume that these are just going to be standard gears of what we've been seeing of these guys. I would hope not t-shirts, you know what I mean? Because we already got those in main event form recently. So hopefully this is just straight up ring gear you can play with. Hopefully there's some tattoo deco, maybe some new head sculpts. But that's not it, okay? Now we're moving on to the good stuff. And this is who I think is going to be the chase in this set. It is not confirmed. But next up is my girl, Jade Cargill. So Jade Cargill has been getting a couple figures, and I got to assume she's going to get more and more and more. But her new figure is going to have an updated head sculpt with a little bit shorter hair, a little bit angrier face. We saw this grayscaled at WrestleMania, and I will plug in the picture right here so you can see it. I think it's going to be an excellent looking figure, but I want to see her get more elites, and we got to assume that's 100% happening. Also in this set is going to be The Undertaker. Not this Undertaker, but an Undertaker. And this is another candidate for being the chase in the set. Actually, the whole series, besides Jimmy and Jay, are candidates, in my opinion, for being the chase in the set. But the next figure that is in this is pretty interesting, because the next figure is actually going to be this person's first ever main event, basic, whatever you want to call it, figure, and that is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. So I don't know what version of Brutus this is going to be, but I'm hoping that it's Barber Brutus and not this version. It's unique to find out that this is a guy who pretty much only has elites in the Mattel line. And I got to assume that part of that is because, I mean, they're not going to include accessories, right? And when it comes to the Barber, this is what we want to see. We want to see those snips, baby. So I would love to see that in a main event, him get these, and I would also love to see him be the chase, but only time will tell. Right now, we don't have that information. So my hopes are either Jade or Brutus the Barber Beefcake are going to have that chase variant in main event series 161. Sticking with the main event, we're going to go to Showdown Series 24. And first up is none other than the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and he is in a 2-pack with none other than the leader of the bloodline right now, Mr. Solo Sikoa. I got to assume these are going to be pretty generic looking Solos and Codys. Nothing too crazy, nothing to get excited about in my opinion, but they're necessary in the line, kind of like top picks, right? You got to have Cody somewhere every other series and such, so you always got to have him on the shelf. Same thing with someone like Solo, so I am definitely here for it. Next up, though, is a 2-pack featuring none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah, and I hope it is on that new Elite head sculpt that we saw at WrestleMania, which I'll plug in here so you can see it. I hope that is what is on this main event because, man, these L.A. Knight heads they've been doing are absolutely horrid. Absolutely horrid. But he comes with one of my favorite people to watch, one of the most hated men in WWE, Logan Paul. I'm hoping that we get some new colors from Logan. Obviously, this 2-pack is going to be their championship match, the U.S. title match. So it's we already know what these are going to look like, but it's exciting to see if we're going to get a new Logan Paul head sculpt. Maybe it's going to have a championship. So whose name's going to be on the belts? We shall see. And last but not least, in this set is exciting because Tama Tonga is getting another figure. He is going to be in Championship Showdown 24, Tama Tonga. Curious what this one's going to look like. But even more exciting than that is he is going to be accompanied by another Bloodline member, and that is Jacob Fatu. So it's not a versus. This is Tama and Jacob Fatu in a 2-pack. That is pretty exciting. I mean, these guys getting multiple figures right off the bat is a huge sign of their stardom. But now we're going to move on to Elites, and we're going to start off with Elite Series 121, and the first person up is this man, CM Punk. And if you remember, Elite Series 113, CM Punk was supposed to be the standard and chase in that set, but that got nixed. Maybe what got nixed is exactly what we're going to get in Elite Series 121 because CM Punk is going to be the chase variant figure in that series. Accompanying him in that series is going to be another man that I really enjoy watching, and he's going to be matching his tag team partner that recently got released, and that is Austin Theory. Now, this is another figure that we saw at WrestleMania. I will plug that in right here so you can see the figure we saw. Looks great. I love the head sculpt. And he is going to be matching that Grayson Waller in the green and white that we saw recently with the new tag team championships. Also, we are going to be getting an Obafemi Elite. Now, he is going to be getting his first time in a line in the main event series, but Obafemi is going to be in Elite form, and it is going to be a sick figure. I mean, I love the torso, the head sculpt. I think everything about this figure is awesome. This is obviously going to be the figure everybody favors. I'm still going to have to get that first time in a line main event, though. We also saw Alba Fire. Now, I'll be honest with you, at WrestleMania, when I saw this prototype, this test shot, I was like, who is this? Who is that? I don't know who that is. I needed to be told that it was Alba Fire. Nothing against her. It just really, I don't follow her career, but also it didn't really look like her, in my opinion. But it's also a test shot, so I'm hoping when it's finished, it does look way more like her. However, since it's first time in a line, you know I got to pick it up. But now we're going to move on to the two I really want to talk about. And that is Carmelo Hayes is also in Elite Series 121. Carmelo Hayes back in the Elite line. His first time in a line was over here at Series 105. We know that he got standard and chase variants in a recent main event series. So I'm curious to see what this figure looks like finalized. But we do have an idea because we saw it at WrestleMania. So I'm going to plug that picture in as well for you guys to check out. And honestly, I'm excited to see it. Carmelo is him, and he's going to have that him necklace on him, which is a great sign. I'm hoping he has some kind of entrance gear of some sort. And last but not least, you can't see me. Mr. John Cena, as we know, is going to be the collector's edition in every single Elite Series this year, and this one is no different. However, I am very, very hopeful. You guys know I've been asking about this for years, that this figure is going to be the Vanilla Ice tribute from the Halloween special on SmackDown. And the reason that I am hopeful is because when I was at Mattel in March and I told my friends, My Damn Toys this, Fig Vault this, I told them, if you're going to do John Cena figures all year, there's one that I need, and that's the Vanilla Ice. And they didn't say they did it. They didn't tell me it, but they smiled and they said, we think that you're really going to enjoy the John Cena figures this year. Period. That's all they said. So I am hoping that we see it this year, but I'm really hoping that it is this one in Elite Series 121. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming, guys. Main Event Series 160 is going to have Roman Reigns, Dominic Mysterio, Gunther, Kalani Jordan, and Tonga Loa. Main Event 161 is going to have Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Jade Cargill, Undertaker, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Championship Showdown 24 is going to have Cody versus Solo Sikoa, LA Knight versus Logan Paul, and Tama Tonga with Jacob Fatu. And Elite 21 is going to have CM Punk, who is the standard in the chase. Hey, that's me. Austin Theory, Obafemi, Alba Fire, Carmelo Hayes, and John Cena as the collector's edition. So comment below. Let me know which figures you're most excited about from these lineups. Please like this video, share it with your friends so we can help this channel grow. And if you enjoyed it, please give us that subscribe. Make sure you pick up the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, available now on Amazon.com. Just go to heelbooks.com and all the links you need will be right there. And you can join Whatnot at whatheel.com and you will get $15 off your first purchase. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Thank you for joining us for these leaked lineups. Peace. Are you a wrestling figure collector of WWE Mattel, AEW Jazzwares, and everything in between? Then you need Fig Heel's Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia, the modern edition covering all releases from 2010 to present day. Featuring over 5,000 photos of action figures from the hottest brands, including independent toy makers. Keep track of what you have, want, and need, including loose, mock, and overall collection value. With shots by Matthew Goldberg, the Wrestling Figure Encyclopedia is a must-have for collectors. Premium, full-color, and value black and white editions available now on Amazon.com. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at FigHeel. Pick up my book series on Amazon and my merchandise on ProWrestlingTees.com/FigHeel. Join my official sponsor, Whatnot, at whatheel.com and receive $15 off your first purchase.